Eman,
Yo,
you've come across my feed about 1 million times. We've never met, which I just think's mad.
crazy, innit?
Yeah, it's been like, when you turned up today, I was just like, oh, like, Uncle Eman's in the building. I love that, man, because I think for you, the way that you come across on social media is just like very likable character, but you've kind of seen the entire wealth spectrum. You're advising millionaires, you've helped people, on council estates.
Yeah.
Be honest, is being broke about how much you earn, or is it something else entirely?
So it's a great question. First of all, big up you, Sammy. Like, I've loved watching your content. I love the way you deliver it. I love how you keep it real. Obviously, it's the first time meeting in person, but we've obviously had conversations in the DMs online and so forth. I love your content. I love what you do. And I love your authenticity and just how you deliver it. And I feel like it's a joy to be on this podcast because
Thanks, man.
I feel like we're like the same person. Like I like the way you. I've yet to see a video that you've done and then your take on it and been like, I don't agree with it. Like, I agree. Like, it's like we went to the same financial literacy school or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, big you up, man, and thank you for having me on the show. So, broke is a mentality. It's not about how much money you have. So the reason I say that is that I get, obviously doing what I do on social media, I get a lot of football players that reach out to me, speak to them, talk to them about their money, their finances and so forth. Now, not even from an advisor point of view, because a lot of the time the club will have their own financial advisor, but sometimes they just want to hear from someone that's from the community, because typically the club financial advisor is, a quite, 50-year-old white man who's never grown up on a council estate, doesn't understand their culture and so forth. So just want to run it past me. And I can see, although some of them making decent, 50K a week, 100K a week, some of them making 250 a week. But they have a mentality that's going to keep them broke, because basically they have a high income, but they have no assets. They don't understand how to turn money into assets. And so what's happening is that they're making this money, but the second they stop playing football, which again is not in their control, they could go and play a match, get an injury,
ACL goes.
done,
Yeah.
contract, they get paid to the end of their contract, and then that's the money that's got to last them the rest of their life. Because again, a lot of them, for pride, is going to stop them from going to get a normal job. They've been used to earning so much money and going to certain clubs and certain exclusive places and having car manufacturers call them direct when the latest cars come out and having all these companies that come direct to them because they have all this money, that they're used to that lifestyle. When that money goes, they're going to want to keep up that lifestyle, but they haven't got anything bringing that money in. And what's going to happen is the money's going to run out. And so for me, what I always try to tell them is that a lot of them are making decisions and they're doing it for people that don't really love them, don't really care about them. Because what those people care about is themselves. So if I see you making a bad financial decision, but I know that I get money from you, it's going to be difficult for me to tell you not to do something, because I don't want to offend you. Because if I offend you, now I might stop my cash flow. So now I encourage you to do what you're doing, because I want to benefit from you. And so the reason they come to me is that I'll tell them straight, you can't afford that car. You think you're rich? You're not rich. Like, you think you've got money? You ain't got money. Like, remember, a lot of these guys, they're in a locker room. Imagine you might be in a locker room, you're on 100K a week. You're sitting next to a man that's earning 500,000 a week. You're trying to live 500,000 a week lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because you think we play for the same team, we're in the same locker room. No, your life is completely different.
Yeah.
Like,
getting brand deals.
Exactly. Getting brand deals exactly. And that's another thing. You live on your salary. The top ones, they don't live on their salary.
Yeah. And then you got the 16-year-old kid who's on like 250 quid a week sitting in the same dressing room because he's so good. But obviously, he's going to end up being where that is. But still, like, they're looking up at that and then aspiring to be that £500,000 guy.
And if they're honest, like when I see a lot of them are gambling on the bus. Again, remember, you're around these guys. These guys become imagine like when we're at school, you know what you used to do on the coach when you go to play games and whatever. These are your guys. But imagine you're all got money. So you're playing cards. We used to play blackjack on the coach and stuff. We didn't have no money though. We just played, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
whoever won. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're playing with thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands because of ego that you don't have. So you get paid and now you're paying off debt. You're in debt to your teammates. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say the amount of money can't replace a broke mentality. Like when BIG said more money, more problems, a lot of the time that the problems come from the fact that you are making decisions that you've never been able to make before. And this is why I tell people don't judge, because a lot of the time what we do is we say, if I had that money, like I wouldn't make that decision. But you don't know you rich. You only know you broke. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like you only know you that doesn't have much. So you're going to live within your means. You don't know how you will behave. Now all of a sudden, you know, every month you've got, like every week you've got 100K coming in, net of tax. You think you don't know what your mindset's going to be like. You don't know the types of people that are going to come around you. You don't know all of these so-called friends, how they're going to behave. So you don't know how your parents are going to act, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, that now that all of a sudden you're feeding the 5,000.
Mate, I'm like that now. I'm like that now. That's why I feel like really weird about saying how much is in my pots.
Yeah.
I used to be quite open because I was building, and then when it got to a number that was like started to be a little bit, like my mum's like, you know, if I'm at dinner, you kind of get the like expectation of me going to the bar or me buying the drinks or the meal or whatever, because they're like, he's good.
Yeah.
And so like I see that right up from the step one to right up to the footballers. I can only imagine.
Yeah, and even like content creators. Like I got content creators that I work with, and like, yeah, you're making good money. You're making good money. And so what? You know how many of my content creators, when I sit down with them, they've got no pension. They ain't got no ISA. They ain't got no investments. They've bought one house, which again, they overstretched themselves. Because there's nothing wrong with buying a house that you live in, but it's got to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's not about the house, it's about the amount. What's the mortgage payment? So I always tell my clients, we focus on the mortgage payment. I do the same with car. It doesn't matter about the car, it's the monthly payment on the car. So I will tell my clients, this is your monthly payment that you can afford for your house. This is your monthly payment for your car. Go and get the best car you can get within this monthly payment. I don't care about the brand. I don't care. This is the pay. Because especially when you're like footballers, at least they have some sort of contract. When you're a content creator, you're only as hot as the trends are.
Your last brand deal.
Yeah, once the deal goes, like I'll give a story. So I did a brand deal with Barclays. Everyone knows I did a big brand deal with Barclays in the Barclays app. Amazing. When that brand deal ended, that was a 6-figure brand deal for 2 years. When that brand deal ended, no financial brand wanted to touch me. They said, you're the Barclays guy.
You're the Barclays dude, yeah.
People don't understand, like, you were Barclays for 2 years. I can't now put you in Santander or NatWest or on any other, because everyone's saying, you're the Barclays guy.
Mate, I'm that with Trading 212 on this podcast. Like, no brand will touch it, because it's like, you've had Trading 212 for 3 years. It's like, well, if I took them away, it would be really difficult to replace it.
It's going to be hard. So again, you're only as good as, do you know what I mean, as the brand see fit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so what I'm trying to say is that, especially for my content creators, we've got to be thinking about, so look at what's happened with Philly, for example. Like, he was the guy.
Yeah.
The number one.
Yeah.
Out of all content creators in the UK, he was number one. He was so big on content on socials that TV was like, we need to now put you on TV.
Mate, it's
because
scary.
we need to get people from socials to watch TV. He was the guy. One incident, his whole life has changed. Whole life has changed. A lot of these people, and I say the difference, so I do a lot with Scarlett Douglas. So I do a lot of her. She does big in property. She does a lot with Channel 4.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to her about her time in the jungle and you know, someone like, for example, Nella Rose, who went into the jungle as well. And the difference being Scarlett's been trained. She's had media training. She understands what is expected. A lot of content creators, when you're a content creator, you're just getting paid to be you.
I know, it's mad.
But in certain environments, the way you are, where you can be naturally you online, you can't necessarily be that in all forms of media.
No.
And then all of a sudden you can get backlash. All of a sudden things can go against you. Now, thank God, someone like Nella Rose, she is so talented that she can bounce back and go again. But for a smaller content creator, you get backlash like that, all of a sudden no brand deals, no brands are working for you.
Mm-hmm.
But now you've got the fame. And this is what I talk about when I talk about with the footballers and the pride. And so what happens is that why I say it's mindset and not money is that when I sit down with some of these football players and I think about how much you got in your bank account, they tell me, okay, how much, a lot of them have huge mortgages. So you would think somebody earning 100K a week, why would they need a mortgage? Could they not? They had huge mortgages.
Yeah.
And that's because, again, they have a mortgage broker that is more concerned with making money than telling them, actually, why don't you just save 50% and then get a mortgage for 50%? And actually, you don't need 12 bedrooms when there's only 4 of you in the house.
Like one. Yeah. Like if they come over from Brazil, you know.
Come on.
Mad.
You just got here.
Yeah.
Like I always think about Michael Essien when he joined Chelsea.
Yeah.
He lived in a Chelsea hotel.
Yeah.
He lived in the Chelsea hotel. He paid nothing.
Yeah.
He got a room for free. He got food for free. And he kept his costs down.
Well, you look at Kante and Tierney, turning up with the Tesco's bags because he wouldn't buy the Gucci holder, or Kante turns up in a Ford Fiesta and everyone's in the Lambos, and it's like they've got that mentality. They've obviously clocked it and they've got that about them.
And that's legacy. Someone like, Kante, Sadio Mane, when we've got hospitals, schools in his village where he's come from.
Yeah.
That's the impact you want to have. That's a mindset that understands that actually my value, it's crazy that you could make that level of money and still feel that you need to prove your worth. Mm-hmm. People don't deep it, but what you're saying is that although I've made it to the Premier League, I'm making all this money for even Championship. I got man in League One making serious money. Football is making serious money.
You're still 3-4K a week.
Come on, serious.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money, serious money. And they will still have nothing to show for it. And they'll have no legacy. And they'll finish, and when you really add up the last 4, 5, 6 years, how much has passed through their hands, and then you say, show me where it's gone. Yeah.
We had Amelia Powell on, who's Nick's wife, and she's obviously a financial advisor now. We had this chat, and it is nuts, trying to install that mentality into someone who's come from nothing largely. A few years ago, I moved my stocks and shares ISA from one provider to another, and that's because I was paying super high fees to actually buy stocks, but also for account fees to actually use that account. And so the account that I switched to was Trading 212 because they have industry low fees, no commission on trading stocks and funds, and plus is super intuitive and has a wide range of funds and stocks which you can use as well. Trading 212 for me are one of the best on the market. And right now you can get a free fractional share worth up to £100 when you open a stocks and shares ISA and deposit just £1 into your account. As always, capital at risk when you invest, and please do your own research when it comes to investing. And now back to the episode.
Exactly. It's a mentality. It's you imagine getting paid that level of money, getting paid millions, and still feeling I need to buy cars and houses and jewelries and watch to prove my worth. You would think you'd already feel I've made it. I've hit my dream. But society, consumerism, capitalism tells us that we have to prove our worth. And that's how we continue to buy this stuff. And so for me, it's about getting them to forget that and say, listen, I always ask people, do you want to work forever?
Yeah.
And everyone always says, no, I don't want to work forever. But the way you manage your money, you're going to work forever.
Yeah, you have to.
You're not going to have to, because you literally make money and spend all of it before the end of the month. Normally, you're running out of money around the 16th, 17th of the month. And those last few days of the month, you're struggling. If you continue that, how will you have money for a pension? How will you have money for your stocks and shares ISA? How will you have money to buy a property? How will you have money to do your side hustle and start? You ain't got nothing. So you're always having to work. And the biggest thing that we forget with work is health. Mm-hmm. Because what we assume is that we're going to be healthy enough to work till 65. But anything can change at any time.
The stats don't lie. Not everyone gets that.
Not everyone gets that.
Yeah.
So this is the mindset. This is why I say it's less about the amount of money. Somebody with the right mindset, they can change their life like that. They can have a great idea and change their life like that, and the money will come, and then they'll move forward. So you can be broke and get out of it. But if you've got a broke mentality, you will always stay broke.
Well, this is it's really interesting because obviously we were speaking about the Premier League footballers here, but you can bring that right down to me at 25 with 24 grand's worth of debt, peacocking, buying the jackets, taking the loan out to cover that loan.
Yeah.
I was already doing that then. It's the same mentality.
Yeah.
And it just goes up the wealth spectrum where the numbers just get scarier as they grow.
Yeah.
But like when you look at it from an angle of, you know, I've just got the pay rise and let's say I've gone from 60 to 80K. And so like, that's a big jump. You're going to notice the difference.
Yeah.
And you upgrade the life, the house, the car, the kids after school clubs. Maybe they're going to private school, whatever that might well be. And suddenly you can't go backwards. And so you're stuck in this loop.
It is the worst hell that you can, I've seen it. Like I've seen it, especially recently with, you know, cost of living and VAT to private school, tuition fees go up, and I've seen it, and it is. I've got clients who are heartbroken. They are heartbroken because they work so hard. They've come from nothing. They work so hard to give their kids this better life.
Yeah.
And now, because they've been made redundant, because the new job they've got wasn't paying the same level as the old job they had, because the cost of living, the interest has gone up on their mortgage, all of a sudden, they have to take the kids out of private school, take them out of private lessons, dance class. They'll teach them foreign languages. All of those things have to stop just because they can't afford it anymore. And now their kids are looking at them.
It's a serious dent to ego and pride, isn't it?
It's painful.
Yeah.
And actually, you set the precedent. I say even with the man then when they're dating, like first date, you want to take her to the Shard. Are you well? Like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Like you can't go back from there. No. And sometimes you want to blame the woman, like, oh, you're a gold digger. No, you started this.
You want to do a little burger and lobster
like,
first.
Come on, chill out. Get something cool. Let's get to know each other. And then on a special, 1 year anniversary or something big, then go somewhere nice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but you wanna set the standard so high. Why? Social media. Because the guys on social media but you ain't making their money. You're not living their life.
I would argue, like, is she the right or he the right guy or chick if they're doing that? Because, like, for me, I would want to go to the local spot that's cool that I've researched, like, that's a bit funky and cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And if she don't like me after that, then we ain't meant to be together because that's not the right vibe. Like.
Because at the end of the day, why are we spending hundreds a month, hundreds if not thousands, on going to these posh restaurants and all of this stuff, yet we own nothing? And that's what people don't understand. The game of life, it's like Monopoly. The people that win on Monopoly, they own. Because when people land on where they got to pay you. But if you don't own anything, every time you land somewhere, you got to pay someone else. And a lot of us are living a life where every time we leave our house, every time we want to go out, every time we have to pay someone else. And the only person paying us is that one job. And it just can't match. And so to live the life that you want and the life that you deserve, number one, you have to have income beyond just your work, but also you've got to reduce the outgoings.
Yeah. I always say it's like this kind of, you've got two options.
Yeah.
You can cut or you can increase.
Yes.
But when you increase, keep everything else the same. And try and like, it's really difficult to delay that forever because we all want to move up a little bit. We all want a little bit of a nicer house. We want to do up the kitchen, whatever that might all be. Like the cupboards are falling off. I need to. But if you can delay it, delay the bigger decisions 1, 2, if you can 3, 4, 5 years and change nothing. And in that time frame, stack assets, your life will look materially different.
And that's the thing for me is that, like, for example, I'm a big guy. When I get on a plane, economy is a struggle for me. Like the seat is tight. I'm just not comfortable, especially when I got long flights. So I want to upgrade my seat, but I don't think I'm going to upgrade my seat from the money that I make from work. That's not going to make sense. So I know I need to have something that's going to bring in additional income, and I know that additional income is for me being able to afford to upgrade my seat. So what the problem is that there's nothing wrong with wanting better in life.
No.
The problem is that when you want better in life, but you want to keep the same income, no, your income has to increase. You have to look at, how do I increase my income to match the lifestyle that I want to live? What am I prepared to? Because again, right now I'm in a position where I could make even more money if I worked more hours. But I've got 4 kids. I'm like, actually, I'll take less.
They're very cute, by the way. I see you outside Arsenal with the on
yeah,
the parade. I was like, oh man,
Thank
love
you.
that. Yeah,
No.
that's my dream one day. 2 kids, take them to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
And to me, it's like, I rather the value in spending time with them, doing their helping their homework. I take them to schools, like, and have those conversations, pick them up. I'd rather do that and make less. So that's my sacrifice.
100%.
But that then means I'm gonna cut back on other things. So I'm not gonna have the most expensive this or the most expensive that. I don't really wear designer clothes. I don't have like, even my car, for example. Everyone's saying, Eman, like, I got a Mercedes, but it's like a C-Class. They're like, oh, Eman, you should be having a, 4x4 something, or a coupe, or I mean, like a bigger
the G-Wagon.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, for who? For you. I know you ain't paying my bills. You're not living because again, I know that I'm self-employed. I know that, yes, money's going really well and we're doing well, excellent. But I know at any given time, there could be 2 or 3 months where I'm waiting for invoices to get paid. Business is slow, especially in this economy that we're in. And all of a sudden, I'm not gonna have outgoings that I can't, like, all of a sudden I can't afford to pay if I don't make X amount of money. No, I need to make sure that my outgoings are low in all seasons. So a car that I hardly drive, that is just sitting out there, it depends. If I was someone that drove all the time, maybe I want to put some more money in that because I'm in the car all the time. No, I don't drive that often.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go and get a fancy car. Like my car I put down a deposit and it cost me £150 a month. Remember I said it's about the amount. When people see my car, they're like, what, you only pay 100? I said, I'm going to get the best car I can get for this amount. That's all I wanted to spend on the car.
And we agree on that so much. Like, car finance isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world if it's not over 10% of your income.
Exactly.
If it's above 10% of what your net income's coming in, then it's a problem. Even that's high.
Yeah, exactly. And when I say this to my clients, especially me telling a footballer, like, oh, you know what? I don't think you should get a Lambo.
Yeah.
They're angry at me. They're angry.
I can pay that next week.
I get me. They're like, what? With a salary? And I'm saying, no, this is not where we're trying to get to. Think about the long term. Because at the end of the day, because I was with Lambo, I went to the car show. I was at Lambo.
Goodwood.
Yeah, Goodwood. I went to Goodwood, and my cousin, he's got a Lambo, so Lambo invited him down. So he went down there. I was thinking the average age of that people keep a Lambo for 9 months.
What? Really?
9 months. They spend over 200K on a car, and the average time that they keep this car is 9 months.
Yeah, I see Bugsy talk about this when he was like, I was so gassed about getting the Lambo, and then he turned up, drove it off the forecourt, and 10 minutes down the road, he was like, I didn't feel a thing. And he was like, I've just spent £200,000 and I don't feel anything. I thought I was going to feel like a king.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I just don't feel a thing. And I can imagine that's the exact same feeling.
And now I got clients that, like, okay, 3-4 years down the line, they're like, thank you, because actually I had to, someone, the honest truth is, all of a sudden you get a manager that doesn't like you anymore. All of a sudden you're now in Europe, you know what I mean? And the salaries are not as high as they are maybe in the Premier League or in Division 1. So, or in Championship. So all of a sudden now you're getting less. So
yeah,
thank
look
God.
Like a Reece Nelson or someone like that, they've been farmed out and then they ain't going to get that Arsenal salary.
Come on, exactly. He's this is probably his last year here. So he's either gonna this is his last year on the contract, so he's either gonna get sold, but where he's going ain't gonna give him the same as what he's on before. He's on a decline. And he's only young. So if he hasn't invested well, the last 2 or 3 contracts that he's had, he hasn't invested that well, he's got to struggle.
So let's bring this to like someone who's making that step now. Let's say they're going from, I don't know, 30, 40K and they've just had a salary bump up.
Yeah.
Like what if you were sitting down with that person, what are you doing with them then? And how would you like stop them from quickly going off the scales?
The biggest thing is the plan. And I think the reason people spend the money they spend is because they don't have a plan. So what I do when I sit down with my clients is we forget the numbers. Talk to me about the life you want to live. Talk to me about what ideal looks like for you. And so we work out that and then say, okay, what do you think you need a month to have that lifestyle? And it might be, for some, it might be 10K a month, 5K a month. Like if it might be 5K a month. Okay, 5K a month net in retirement. That's what I want. Because for me, I focus mainly with my clients on retirement. I don't focus on work. Like, we can all work hard. But my job is to get you to stop working as soon as possible. My job is to build wealth, build assets that can replace your income as soon as possible. And so I sit down with them and I'm like, okay, cool. You're on 30. Let's say now you're on 45. Let's say after everything, you got an extra £1,000 a month, let's say. Okay, cool. Now, what's the goal? Because again, naturally, what everyone will say is, put more money into pension. But then I have to turn around and say, well, when do you want to retire? 9 times out of 10, when I ask people what age they want to retire at, they'll tell me 50.
Yeah. It's
9 times out of 10,
yeah.
I don't know why that number,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's that number, but 50 is the number.
That was the number that was looked in my head when I was in my early 20s. I was like, 50, I'm done.
50 is the number.
Yeah. But
Well,
it's never the case, man. Surely, unless you've smashed it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So then I have to say, well, if it is 50 that you're aiming for, yeah, number one, you're probably 28, 29, 30. So we ain't got long. So that's number one. Number two is that, well, you can't get your pension till 57. And probably that'll go to 58, if not 60. So if you're putting all your money into pension doesn't match your goal. So is it 50? Is it really 50? And so then we start to have these discussions. And so for me, it's then about looking at, okay, what's going to get you that? Now, when I have clients that may be a bit older, unlike most financial advisors, I will look at, before, again, the government did this, we used to look a lot at property, because property can generate that income that you need quickly and it can be more reliable. But with all the taxes and everything, property is not as desirable. And with the new laws that are coming in now, buying a property, rent it out is not what it used to be. So now, I don't think I've ever sat down with clients so much and they want stocks. They just want that flexibility of stocks. And then it's about the side hustle. So even with my client, I'm looking at, what are you doing? So, okay, you are now earning 45,000. The average salary is around 30 something thousand. So that means you've got a good skill. That means you're doing something well. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to leverage the skills that you have? Is it mentorship? Can you do a coaching program? Because there'll be people who are on 22K that would love to learn how to get to you.
Yeah.
So you could create a program where you bring on people, show them the steps you take, mentor them. They'll pay you a set amount to do that. That set amount that you get is a little income that you get, and that income you can put aside for other stuff.
It doesn't have to be much.
It doesn't have to be huge.
When I first started doing freelancing, I think I was charging like £30 an hour.
Come on.
And so it was like real small amounts. Obviously, I knew I was massively undercharging, but I was trying to build a portfolio.
Exactly.
I was trying to get clients. I was trying to like do all these little things. So you start there, but that £30 would then become 60, would then become 90, and you start growing in that space, and you can either turn that into a business or not, or you can keep it as a little side hustle. If you have kids, you cut back on time. If you don't, you move up. Like there's so many choices to you at that point. So I've been working on something super exciting for the last 12 months, and I am very, very proud to finally bring it to you. And it is called Gains App. My whole thing with this was we've been speaking to many of you guys about the rising costs of living and how hard it is to actually manage your money. So I thought, why not actually solve this and build something for you guys that you can use every single day? So Gains App is literally that. You can connect all of your banks in one single place and see exactly what's going on with your spending. We even pre-categorize all of your spending super visually so you can see what's going on and make plans for your big goals ahead. Plus, we've layered in something called instant cashback, and we've calculated that the average UK salary could save £1,091 a year just by using Gains App for your spending. And it's super simple to use, easy to connect. We are FCA agent status as well, so your money is super safe. And you can get started right now by following the link in the description or visiting gainsapp.com. And now back to the episode.
Yeah, and it's about the lifestyle you want. Because the conversation I really love to have with my clients is, when do you want to retire? Because you can buy that car, you can buy that house, that extra expensive house that you don't really need. You can get all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But the compromise is that now you might need to carry on working till 65. So would you, in order to have that car and have that house and go on holiday 3 times a year, is all of that worth working an extra 5 to 10 years? And if the answer is no, then let's not have the extreme. Have a nice house, doesn't have to be that big. Doesn't have to be in London. I don't know why we're trapped in this thing of, I've got to buy in London. London is like New York, one of the most overpriced places ever. I don't understand why we're so fixated on get into the office quickly, it doesn't, especially now that a lot more workplaces are giving you maybe 2 days a week, like 3 days a week in the office, 2 days at home. Like, you don't necessarily have to be in the office every single day. So to me, you don't have to live right near your workplace and pay that premium.
We had this chat before I came in.
Yeah.
It was a 1-bedroom flat or a 4-bedroom house where I live for an hour journey.
Think about it.
And then let's say I live in Richmond and my office is in North London, it's taking me an hour. So then
Same hour. But you're paying a premium.
It's crazy.
And so for me, I just like, these are the conversations that I want to have. Because again, sometimes we're making decisions that we think are good, but they're actually for our bad.
100%.
I got a client. Why is your mortgage £6,000 a month? You earn 10K a month. Why is your mortgage £6,000 a month? That is unnecessary. But because the person that you work with or people that you talk to, because their mortgages are that high, it just becomes normal to you. So this is where I say, as a financial advisor, my job is not to just pick funds and tell you to invest in this or that. My job is to actually give you advice on the financial decisions that you're making in your life. Because I don't think we always understand the repercussions of them. And a lot of the time we are making decisions out of emotion. Oh, they just bought a house over there. Or I've gone to my friend's house for a housewarming. This house is beautiful. This area is lovely.
Yeah.
Now I want to move there.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with your house before you went and saw somebody else's house.
Exactly.
That's just human nature. That's that greed that we naturally have. That's that competitive nature. Like, especially as men, we are very competitive. And because of that, we naturally say, oh, I see this guy doing this. Now I want to do this. I see this guy driving that. Now I want to. That is going to keep you in the mud. We have to come to a place of understanding, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and knowing that you are already valuable, and not allow ourselves to make decisions based on jealousy, based on competition, based on trying to get our value from other people. And I think that's the type of conversation I'll be having. Like, what do you actually want to achieve? Because actually, you're on 45. To live the life that you want, you got to get to 60. So now it's like, what course can we take? Do we even use that additional money? We might need to put that in a course. We might need to put that in a program. You might need to start networking and meeting other people. That's going to cost you to go to these events. That's what you need to do, because actually to live the life you want, you've got to increase your income. These are the types of conversations. The problem is we make more money and we almost assume, oh, yeah, buy a house.
Yeah.
This is not the 1960s. It doesn't just work like that. Some of my clients, like some of my smartest clients that I've got now, they've bought houses, but they still live at home. They bought houses, bought them in a company, rent them out. They still live at home, because it's cheaper to live at home than to go and buy a house and start having to pay. Like, actually, we can stay together, reduce all our costs by living together, and then we can build wealth and use that money to build wealth and invest.
So a lot of people do that to get on the ladder, don't they? They
exactly.
Just strip back. Let's go and stay with mum for 6 months, and then we can finally make that decision because of the amount of money you save.
But some people, the pride, that's the problem.
It's pride, isn't it?
It's pride. I don't want to go, oh, I'm 30, you can't be going back to my mum's house. It's your mum. If your mum can't support you, who can support you in life? If your parents, your family, your closest friends, if they cannot support you, who is allowed to support you? The mindset is wrong. And that's what I say about that is a poverty mindset. Because I will see clients that I've got in like more the Indian community, where one's a doctor, one's a dentist. These are very high paid professional jobs. They get married and they move into one of their parents' house.
Yeah, or they live very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
Why? Because they understand that
power of community.
Put our money together reduces our costs, and it means that we can buy together. We have babysitting if we need it. We can build a family. We can grow together, and we can make all of our costs. One of the biggest problems we have in the black community is black tax, where you start making money and all of a sudden your parents who had low-paying jobs or struggling jobs or didn't have the financial education to know about pensions really well or investments and so forth, they get to retirement age and they don't have enough to live in retirement. So now you are having to pay for your parents as well as having kids and having to pay for your kids.
Right.
So how can you then build wealth the same as somebody else that only has to worry about themselves? So what I'm saying is that in those communities, they live together. So mom and dad, we all live together. So we're making it cheaper for all of us. So I don't need to pay for my house and then send money to pay for your house. We're all living in the same house. So we're all keeping our costs down.
It's giving me anxiety because I couldn't manage and live with my mum or my dad. I think I'd go insane. I think I'd actually go insane. But I think it definitely depends on your parents. Though,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you have to have that kind of ability to do that.
Ability, relationship, culture, it all depends on all of that. And again, some people's parents, like you said, it'd be a nightmare. And obviously your mental health is important. And not everyone had
That's all I'm thinking. She'd drive me mad.
But at the same time, it's like, if it was a difference between can I do this or not, even if it meant for 12 months, 18 months, having to get by.
Mate, I did it. So I lost my job. I was 26.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my job. And it was quite a big shock to me because like a whole marketing HR department just got completely cut. And I was like, well, what the hell? But I had a flat in London and immediately it was one of those ones that you could pay every month.
Yeah.
Back then when it was a little bit more like the Wild West in the renting market in London. So I just stopped immediately. I moved back in with my mum. I did it for 9 months.
Wow.
And I managed to build myself up like a bigger pot. She had like this little weird like flat annex thing. And I stayed in there and it was the best thing I've ever done. Like, and I regret to this day coming back to London as fast as I did because like if I'd have stayed there 18 more months, I'd have been in a much better position. But you know, pride.
No, exactly. But the point is if it's possible. I know some people, their parents are struggling, so they don't have the space to do it. But and again, it's like now that I'm having kids, these are the things that I want to have a house that no matter what, they can come back. They know that they've got a space. They know that they can live with us, and if they need to. And my job is to get them on their feet and help them and support them as much as possible. So for me to be able to do that, maybe I can't go on as many holidays as I like. For me to be able to do that, maybe I only got Apple Watch instead of a Rolex. But I'm okay. Because guess what? I still know the time. But that's my mindset. Like, I know what the time is. I'm good. Do you know what I mean?
I love this one because it's like, well, you got the Rolex, but how many hours did that cost you? How many hours were you working for that? Like, you have to ask yourself these questions. And what I loved about what you said before was when we've moved to Ramsgate in Kent, they offered us, they said, you got 700K. And that's what they say as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, and we start going looking around these houses and it's me and the missus, like, and a dog. Like, why do I need 7 bedrooms, an annex bathroom, massive garden? Like, they were ridiculously huge. And I was like, we went look around a few and we were like, it's kind of cool. You get sucked into it.
Of course.
Right? You get sucked in big time. And then I was like, babe, how many hours do you think we're going to spend in each one of those rooms?
Crazy.
Like, how many hours? Like, let's actually figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's watch us now because we were living in a 2 up, 2 down in Hampshire.
Yeah.
Like, let's watch where we spend most of our time. The answer was bedroom, kitchen, bedroom, kitchen, bedroom, kitchen, bedroom, kitchen. Like, that was it. So we were like, well, actually, we barely go in the living room, so we don't really care if we like, you know, it's nice to have a living room when people come round.
Yeah.
But then why do we need 6 other bedrooms?
Exactly.
When are we going to go in them? And how often do people stay with us? Like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll increase a bit, but so let's have a couple of spare bedrooms, but we don't need 7.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, you ask yourself these questions and then you backtrack and go, well, actually 700K is about 45% of our net income.
Come on.
Then we're going to be in big trouble. Because if that increases, you don't stress test this thing, then you're in big trouble.
And that's the problem. Loads of people borrowed at 0.5% above base and all of this. And then the base rate skyrocketed or their mortgage product finished and they just couldn't afford it.
Yeah. I went from 900 to like 1,600 in literally a day.
Yeah, I had someone that had their mortgage payment went from £600 a month to £2,000. Oh, because they were on a variable. They went to the variable rate, and then they actually didn't have the income. So you know, you get a mortgage at the beginning, but then you're on a certain income. They went on that income, but because they're not making a change to the mortgage provider, they just kept getting new mortgages. But this time, they couldn't get a new product. So I had to stay on the variable rate because obviously to get the mortgage company that they were at was closing down. So they would have to go to a new mortgage company and they don't have the income to get a new mortgage somewhere else. And that went from like £600 to almost it was almost their monthly income.
That's so savage, man. Because you stress test this based on like it's 5% today,
Yeah.
but what happens if it goes to 8?
Wow.
Or it's 1.2% today. What happens if it goes to 5? Because
Yeah.
that's what happened to
Exactly.
me. I went 1.2% to 5. So it's just, yeah, and there was nothing I could do.
Exactly. And especially, I have clients who buy to lets, and again, the interest rate went up. They were paying people to live in their house basically.
Yeah.
Because they were collect what the mortgage went up so much but they couldn't tell their tenant to cover it. So they were covering. They were paying an extra £400 or £500 a month on this house that is meant to be making them money. They're losing money, and again, because it's in their own name, they still have to pay tax on it. Imagine paying tax on a losing house.
Yeah.
And the house is losing you money.
Yeah.
And still paying tax on it.
So my sister, who actually works around the corner from where we are now, her fella has just gone through this. So he was paying someone to live in his house. I think it was like £200-300 a month for nearly a year because he couldn't sell it. He was trying to sell it. And mate, so that's like 2-3K. That would break my heart.
Come on.
It would break my heart. It's supposed to be an asset.
Well, that's it, exactly. And that's what people don't think about. At any time, you can have a time where there's no tenant. There's no one in the house. You still got to pay that mortgage. There could be times where things are broken and now all of a sudden, you've got to go and fix it. Like, I have nothing against property. I think property is a great asset, especially here in the UK. But I think you also have to understand that it's not just plain sailing. It's not just I get a tenant and they're just going to pay me this amount and I want to get that exact amount and make that amount of profit until the end of time. It doesn't. That's not how it works. Do you know what I mean? And there are ups and downs. And for example, I got clients with 30, 40 properties. I said, okay, that's great. How much are you making on them? Income wise, peanuts. Less than £1,000. They're just washing their face. Now again, obviously, from a assets go up over time.
Yeah.
But from a cash flow point of view, it's tight. Some of them they're even losing money on. Do you know what I mean? So the point I'm saying is that this is why we want to have a diverse portfolio. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You want to have some money in property, some money in stocks, some money in business, and then build over time.
So you were kind of the first person in your family to really understand this stuff.
Yes, kind of. Yeah,
Kind of. Who else?
My dad's an accountant.
Okay.
So my dad's an accountant, so he understands he's a qualified accountant, so he understands accounts. But so he had financial background. In fact, he's the one that told me to go and do accounting and finance degree. So he is an accountant. But in regards to where I took it, in regards to being a financial advisor, understanding mortgages inside out, understanding property, stocks, all of that type of stuff, I was the first. But my dad understood it from an accountancy.
So that was the journey, like that. Then put you into an accounting and finance.
Yeah, I wanted to do marketing. I wanted to do marketing when and he was just like, no, don't do marketing.
You get marketing though. You've marketed yourself very well.
That's why I get that. So I've always had that kind of marketing brain, but my dad was just like, nah, you're always gonna, finance. It's always needed. It's what I do, and so go and do finance. So I just said, all right, no problem. I'll do accounting and finance.
And that journey for you wasn't like plain sailing either to what you do now, right? You were working in a city, you've been made redundant.
Yeah, it's never been, my whole life has never been plain sailing. Like, obviously grew up on a council estate, then in East London, Tower Hamlets, went to a school, Bow Boys. The pass rate before my year was 5% that got 5A to C's, 5%.
5%?
My year, it was like, I think it was 12 or 15%. They put us in a there used to be a free newspaper, like a local newspaper. They put us in a newspaper for because we overachieved, what compared to what previous years. Don't worry, it's much better now. I go back to the school and it's an academy now, and they're doing amazing. But yeah, that was poor. But I still I got 4 GCSEs. So my head of year, he wrote a letter. So I wanted to go Monarchs. George Monarchs in Walthamstow.
Yeah.
But they rejected me. So because I didn't have it, so I went to Leighton. Leighton wanted me to do BTEC because I only had 4 GCSEs. My head of year wrote a letter for me. I went back and I basically did a BTEC, but they let me do an A-level as well so that I could have 3 A-levels that way. So I did
that was your path up.
That's how I got to uni. So I did a BTEC in business and then I did A-level in sociology. So that's how I got them to, so then I did that. But even then I got a CDE. But because I played basketball, Greenwich University gave me unconditional.
Ah, okay.
So I played basketball at quite a high level. So they gave me unconditional. So it didn't matter about my results. I got unconditional to Greenwich.
Student athlete.
So yeah, so I got in there, played basketball for Greenwich, was captain of the basketball team at Greenwich, and then still ended up with a third class. Being Nigerian and getting a third class is never a good thing.
It's not a good thing.
No.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like third class is like a pass. It's
Okay.
So it's like, did you even go uni? It's like what was the point of all this?
But then, like, the reason I asked that is because I knew some of that. You know, obviously, I was talking about this for the audience, but look at what you're doing now.
It's crazy.
Like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It actually doesn't. So, although I got a third class, I was working part-time. I was working in Marks and Spencer's when I first got to uni. I used a job at Marks and Spencer's to get a job as a cashier at Barclays. I was a cashier at Barclays, and then I did really well. They used to have something called like a mystery shop so I got 100% on the mystery shop. You know, I get on the people. I'm a people's person, so I got 100%. They did another mystery shop. I got 100% again. So I won an award won an award. So when I finished my degree, they were like, "What job do you want?" I said financial advisor, and so they were like, "Okay, no problem." Then they made me a financial advisor. 22, youngest financial. I went from cashier to financial advisor. After I did that, Barclays changed. You can't jump that many bands. So basically, cashier is a band 1 and a financial advisor is a band 4.
Right.
So they changed it so you can only go up 2 bands. So I could only go up to a band 3. You can only go from 1 to a band 3. So band 3 would be like a personal banker.
Okay.
So you'd have to become a personal banker, and then you could then apply for a financial advisor, a mortgage broker, whatever maybe. So yeah, so became a financial advisor at 22. You can imagine I'm still living on a council estate and I'm looking at these buildings in Canary Wharf that I used to look at and dream about being in, and I'm now in them. I'm now working in these buildings, working in Canary Wharf, living a dream, but then realizing that I can't be myself. So I'd have to start changing the way I talk, changing the way I dress, changing the way to fit in over here. And then once I finish work, I then have to go and I can be myself again.
Right.
And it's just exhausting. But corporate, yeah. So then I did really well, but I just realized corporate's not for me. And I'm just tired of helping rich people get richer. While I know coming from a poor background that people are struggling. I'd go to work and have conversations with clients. We're talking about how do I turn this 3 million into 5 million. And I go home and someone that I know from school be asking me, can I give him a $5? And it's like, what is going on? How can these things be happening in the same day, like so close to each other?
Yeah.
So then I was just like, in this life, you got to meet people where they're at. The people I want to work with are not in Canary Wharf. They're not there. The people I want to work with are on social media. So I need to go on social media. So that's what made me start a page. My wife helped me. I didn't even know how to use. I never used the stuff. I had Facebook, but my day Facebook weren't cool, so you weren't it weren't really like you had it, but you weren't really posting. Like it wasn't really masculine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, cool. I have it, but I'm not using it. So my wife showed me how to set up an Instagram, showed me how to post. I had to pay a social media company to really teach me how to edit content and stuff like that. So I learned there, and then just started doing content that I liked. And funny enough, Channel 4 saw the content, and they were like, "We've never seen a financial advisor talk like this." And then I did a show for Channel 4 that came out in the December, no, end November, finished in the December.
When was that?
That was in 2019.
Okay.
So yeah, that was in 2019.
7 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't
Crazy.
it? Was that you like? Did that take you to the next level?
That took me to a level where people could know who I am.
Yeah.
And then what took me to the next level was the pandemic. And then George Floyd. George Floyd changed my life. I always have to mention, God rest his soul, George Floyd, because what George Floyd did was make these corporations say, actually, we're being very unfair in regards to we need more representation.
Right.
And so at that point, they were like, oh, we need, everyone's talking about finance because of the pandemic and everyone's on furlough. So money becomes a big conversation, but we don't have anyone black, basically, to have this conversation. They were like, who was that black guy that was in that TV show that Channel 4 did? Mm-hmm. My life changed.
So it's like a stepping stone for you.
So I did that show came out in the November, finished in the December. In the January, I got my agent. My agent messaged everybody, like all the TV companies, nothing. I think George Floyd died in May. By 2 weeks after George Floyd died, I was on This Morning.
That's mad, isn't it?
I was on This Morning with Eman Holmes and his wife. Like, I was on This Morning, like from my house, because it was still pandemic, so we couldn't go in the studio. From my house on This Morning. I then started doing Morning Live on BBC. Obviously Channel 4, then we did another show with Channel 4. Like, it was just non-stop. Brands, I used to have a brand deal, email, two or three brand deals a week. Emailed every week without fail. And it was just like, which ones are we going to do? And it was just like, I can't do that one because I'm doing this and I can't. And it was just non-stop. And that was for about 3 years, and then did the Barclay stuff. And then after the Barclay stuff, silence. And that's why I say it's so important that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because if I just only said I'm going to live on brand deals, I wouldn't be here today.
No.
Like, I had
the business underneath.
I had a
it.
business.
Yeah.
I had to create a business. Okay, while I'm getting all this attention, how do I turn this attention into money, into income? I don't. It's not about how many followers you have. It's how are those followers? How are you adding value to those followers that they want to pay you for the value that you bring, or what brands want to speak to the followers that you have, and will pay you to get access to your followers or the influence that you have. That's what we're trying to sell here. And so I did the brand stuff, but I was like, actually, I need the business stuff as well. And so that's what really sustained me throughout this time. So doing events, doing talks. I get paid to do talks. Like, I never thought someone would pay me to talk. Like, literally, like, I've been paid thousands of pounds to give an hour talk.
Yeah, sit on a stage.
I talk for free.
Keynote speaker.
Yeah, keynote speaker on a panel.
Yeah.
Like,
nuts,
thousands. It's just like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, but that's value.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what social media should be used for.
Well, you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
That there's no one that can touch you on that side of stuff.
And it's the value that you bring, right?
Totally.
Because
it's the same thing as like you pay someone £1,000 to do the job for 10 minutes, but they've done it for 30 years, so they can justify that.
Exactly. And so, like, I will have people like, oh, Emmanuel, you're a bit expensive. After I give my talk, the way they're thanking me, it's like I paid them to be there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I know my stuff. I've been doing this for years. You're not paying me, Emmanuel Asuquo, just to come and talk for an hour. You're paying for the 19 years, the thousands of clients that I've helped, the qualifications that I've done. All of that is what comes into me being able to deliver and make your event. When people walk away and they say, wow, that event was amazing, that's because you got the right people in the room.
Receipts.
Like, it's there. So that's what the biggest change. And that's one thing I try and show my content creators is it's beyond just living off brand deals. That's not in your power. Just living off a 9 to 5. It's not in your power. That's in your employer's power. And your employer can switch that tap off at any time. And some of us are living this kind of naive way of life saying, oh, yeah, but I get paid XYZ. They don't owe you nothing. They'll sack you tomorrow and tell you it was a business decision. It's not personal. Go tell your wife and kids whether it's personal
all
or
the
not.
time.
Do you know what I mean?
It's happened to me all the time.
So for me, it's like
some brands just don't perform.
Exactly. Some brands do stuff that doesn't work. Some brands, even I've had brands who've done the content, done everything. They've taken like almost 12 months to pay me.
Oh yeah. I'm going through that now. I'm going through that now. 9 months. Did the content in January.
Think about that.
Madness.
Think about it. And it's like, I had a brand. I had one even that I did everything. The agency took the money. The agency took the money. I've had it twice.
What, just disappeared?
As in, they said, "Oh, we've run out of money, can't pay."
Oh, right, yeah, they've gone into liquidation.
So
Yeah.
the brand has paid their money to pay me. They're just meant to take their cut and give me mine. They've used my money to pay their staff or do what. Then they've run out of money, and they were unable to pay me. So I've had to then now start chasing them up. I had to wait for one. He had to wait till they They got investors. They came back. They paid my money in the end. It was mad late. Remember, this is your bread and butter. This is what I used to. So if you're solely relying on brand deals, there's so much problems with it that you're not going to be able to pay. So this is why I say it's so important. Like, what's in your control? I can't control brands to book me, and I can't control brands to pay me on time.
I liken this exact thing to like when that. I remember it to this day. Like, it's mad because their restaurants are literally like right outside. So I walk past it to get in the studio, but like it's the same with a job.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same because you have no idea what's happening in that boardroom.
Come on.
You have no idea. You don't know where the company. You can probably tell whether the company's doing all right or not.
Yeah.
There's stress or reap down, but you have no idea if they're going to revamp the whole department, farm out this, farm out that, and then what? And then your eggs are in that basket and you have nothing to show for it. Especially, that's why I think like an emergency fund in that part is that possibly the most important thing. Because if that does happen to you, you've got 6 months, you don't have to make a crap money decision that you really don't want to make. You can wait, pick the jobs, go to the interviews with stress off. So I think like that, it's everything. It's eggs in if you've got eggs in one basket, how do I get them out of it?
Exactly. And people don't want to have an emergency fund because it's not sexy. I don't want to put my money in a savings account. I don't want to put my money in a cash ISA. Well, what's there's no interest? No, trust me. If you ever need that emergency fund, you're going to thank God that you got it. Because if not, if you put it in the market and you lose your job at a time when Trump decides to put out a tariff, or Russia decides to bomb Ukraine, or we got the oil in the Middle East, all of a sudden your portfolio is down 50%. And this is when you want to cash it in a loss. So now you're making things even worse because you're taking this money at a loss. So now you're crystallizing a loss because it's only a loss when you decide to take the money out. As long as in there's an opportunity for it to go back to where it was or even past it.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset. And that's what I say for a lot of us, we go into investing with a saver's mindset. We put our money in and then in 2 months' time, we're like, oh my goodness, why hasn't it gone up? That's not investing. That's saving, mate. You're used to saving. You put your money in and, at the end of the year, they'll put their little interest on top and it never goes down below what you put in. That's saving. If you're an investor, we know that investments go up and down. And that's why you got to do your research. You can't just invest based on, I saw somebody say this on the internet, or everybody's putting their money in crypto, so let me go and put my money. We've got to have a plan. And the way you're doing it in regards to just doing it, that's why I love your content so much. And I get why you don't show no more, because I get it. It gets to a certain point where you're making a certain level where it's just like people start treating you different, speaking to you different, acting different, moving different, expectations different. So I totally understand that. But the transparency was so powerful because it was like, actually, wow, this guy's got what? Over 200K and he's and it's just normal investing. It's normal funds that I have the same access to those exact same funds.
You can start tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you looked at your portfolio, the funds, it weren't like your funds were like these like emerging market ETFs or like, these are just normal bread and butter funds that build over time. You just put in it. When you even said the amounts you're putting in on a month, it weren't like huge amounts you're putting in, but the consistency of doing it over time. And when you got a pay rise, you put your bonus in there. I saw it and I was just like, this is so powerful because I can say this, but what you're doing is showing it. And that's the power of social media, is actually you believe what you see. We are in a seeing generation, I've got to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I want to see it. And what you were doing was showing people that actually I've been able to build this, so you can do the exact same thing. And I think that is so powerful and so needed.
Yeah, the only reason I don't go into massive detail around the investments now is because it gets a bit dicey.
Yeah.
Also, 245,000 people see it. Obviously, they don't all see it, but at the same point, it's like there were more power comes more responsibility kind of thing. And I just felt uncomfortable. I was like, what if I say this, I've bought this company,
Yeah.
and then next month it's 30%, you know, something goes wrong and it's down.
Yeah.
And John's just gone in and stuck 5k in.
Yeah.
Like I would feel awful.
Yeah.
And it happened a couple of times, like, you know, because I don't get everything right. I'm not like Warren Buffett out here. Like,
even Warren Buffett don't get it right all the time.
Exactly. So, but you don't want to be in that position. So I just stopped talking about what I have.
Yeah.
I'm okay to say the amounts that I've got. I think that's okay. Like, but I don't say what anymore as much. So yeah, it's strange because it's just like, if you're an average person, you can end up here.
Yeah.
And all it takes is just patience.
Yeah, exactly.
And a plan.
A plan. And that's what a lot of people don't have. It's common saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I think a lot of people, that's what's happening. You have no plan. And me as a financial advisor, people will say, oh, Eman, how have you been successful? How do you get your clients? Why do clients? Because I focus on a plan.
You focus, yeah, and the people with you.
Yeah.
I know you love talking about this. And I think it's really like, it's nice that you speak about the actual person. Where do you want to be? And then let's look at the money. Because like, if you don't understand the person, you're never going to get them to that point in the first place.
Exactly that. And I think that's the thing. And I think people at home are watching this thinking, how do I start? Start with a plan. Like, and again, especially now with the technology, like, tell your plan to Claude. Like, tell Claude, this is my plan. This is what I want to do. What's your thoughts? These are the things I'm thinking. They talked about this. They talked about that. What does this mean? Like, there's so much stuff. Follow people like yourself. You've got blogs, you've got newsletters, you've got YouTube channels. There's so much content that you can consume for free that it's almost, there's no excuse. And the one thing I'd say about AI, don't use AI from a point of view of asking AI without the knowledge. You need to have the knowledge first, then ask AI, and then it will enhance what, do you understand? So I always say to people, you got to be good, and then AI will help you get great.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to use AI to get great, it's not going to work.
No.
And so
I call it the 20% on your 100%.
Exactly.
Gives you the 120.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you got to do the work. So you got to go watch the videos, understand the terminology, understand what you're talking about, and then go to AI and say, look, what's your thoughts on that? And then when they reply, you understand what it's saying because you've done the work. If you haven't done the work, it can tell you whatever and you're going to agree with it. We've got people who are signing contracts based by AI and they've lost millions.
Really?
Yeah, lost millions because the contract couldn't hold up in a court of law because certain clauses are missing. We've got people replacing financial advisors with AI, replacing lawyers with AI, replacing doctors with AI. It's not that. It's not that. That's not what it's for. Do you know what I mean? No. Whereas a doctor could use AI to be more specific because they've got the knowledge. Me as a financial advisor, because I actually know it. Sometimes it will say stuff and I'll be like, but didn't that rule change XYZ?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it did. You're right. Changed. Well, you didn't tell me that at the beginning, did you?
No.
So if I didn't know that.
I've done it. I've got Brian Burns coming on as well. And he was talking about the lifetime ISA. Yeah. It was like, the lifetime ISA is X, Y, and Z. And I was like, it's changing. And it was like, oh yeah.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
So you can't be solid. You can't make financial big life decisions based on AI.
It's not there yet. And I don't think it will be for a while.
And remember, AI is going to agree with you. If you tell AI your business idea, I think about this business idea, it's a fantastic idea. It's going to make you millions. And people are out here taking loans for this idea that only ChatGPT thinks is great. Yeah. You and ChatGPT are the only people that think this is going to work. It doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? There's no shortcuts to this success thing. You've got to put in the work. You can only reap where you sow. And I think a lot of people want to reap, but they don't want to do the sowing. They don't want to do the farming part. Think about a farmer. You're out there planting the seeds, looking after the cattle, doing the work. When you see the ground, there's nothing there, but in 12 months' time, there's going to be a harvest. It over time, so you continue to look after it. Pesticides, get rid of all that, any animals. You're doing the work, and people are not doing that for their finances. They're not doing the work, but yet they hope that I'm going to become a millionaire all of a sudden. And this is why we're seeing so much people doing the lottery. But if you understand how the lottery works, if everybody was winning, it wouldn't be working. People now go into gambling. If you understand how gambling works, the house wins. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a profitable business. So we get desperate. We see payday loans, all of these things that now come in and it just takes over because we're trying to find the shortcut to get the thing that we want instead of doing the work and then getting it when we deserve it. Because the problem is we live in an instant gratification generation where we think we deserve it everything now. And actually, that's not how it was. I remember growing up, we had the Argos catalogue. You know,
it was so good. So good.
You flip the Argos catalogue,
and
you look
yellow
at
pages.
all of the stuff. Yeah, you look at it, pick what you want, rip that page out, tell you this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then you wait. You have to wait all the way till Christmas.
That's it. There's the waiting.
You have to wait.
Yeah.
And guess what? That first Christmas, you might not even get it. So you have to wait till next Christmas. And then you're thankful because you know how hard your parents had worked to give you this thing that's taken them 2 years to buy.
Now they're whacking it on Klarna and it's going out of control. I know. This is what I did. I've done this like deep expose type video on like the digitization of money and like how e-commerce and like the internet essentially just exploded this like now thing. Because it's like it's gone from basically, it was literally, I talked about like you'd have the catalogue, you'd want it, you'd save up for like 6 months, you'd be putting £2.50 away out your paper round, and then you could afford the game or whatever you wanted. Now it's like, I want it, can I get it, credit, access, boom, and I've got it next day. It's at my house. Something in Amazon, it's on the same day. So it's like that kind of like barrier to friction has gone. And they've just spent billions of pounds in removing these layers. So now we just whack it on our phone. You don't feel anything.
Exactly.
You just, how much have I spent? I don't know.
Come on. You know what? I always tell people when you used to pay by cash and then they didn't have a fiver and they give you back coins.
Yeah. It hurt.
It's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
And now your wallet's heavy. And it's just like, but you could feel it. I remember you giving someone a £20 note and then getting like £7 back. You feel the pain. You're like, okay.
Well, you really thought about it. You go, does this provide me value?
I hand it over. I have to actually look at my wallet. Remember them, if you're doing a big purchase, you have to actually count the money. I feel, like you said, there's friction. While you're counting the money, there's time for you to say, no, actually, no, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. Or take those two off. I don't need this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that. Actually, you know what? I don't want my wallet to be too empty, so I want to keep. So what's this? Okay, yeah, I'll spend this amount. Like you've got time to think about it. When you're tapping, it's just tap. You're
just gone.
And then when you've got overdrafts, when you've got Klarna, when you've got all of these buy now, pay later, all of a sudden, it's like you are so distant. Now we're buying pizza.
Yeah. Amazon spent like £4.6 billion defending the one-click purchase button pattern, which I found out, and that blew my mind.
Crazy.
Because now that's in every single purchase cycle where your card's like connected. Yeah. So you just click.
Yep.
And it just goes, bing, oh, it's you. And
it's done.
And it arrives the next day.
Yeah.
It's mad. And so like I'm trying to figure out ways that how can we put friction back in if we don't, then you've got to have visibility. Yeah. Visibility is the key.
100.
If you can be visible, then you kind of know what you're spending.
Yeah, I mean, my clients, all my clients are on a 48-hour rule.
Yeah.
So they can put it in a basket, but you gotta wait 48 hours before you buy it.
Yeah.
Do you know that because of that rule, most of them, it's about 70-80% of the time they don't buy it.
Yeah.
They realize they don't need it. We have to understand that as humans, we think we're so individual, but actually the way our brains work has been programmed already. Mm-hmm. And scientists have studied it. So a lot of the stuff, the reason you just want to buy something is not by accident. Remember, I always say you haven't got a system to protect your money, but every day there's a system trying to take your money from you. Mm-hmm. You wake up, you've got emails. Remember, they're sending, look at your emails. You'll see, why did I receive an email at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning? Because they know when you wake up, that'll be the first email you're going to see. Yeah? Why do I receive an email the last day of the month or the first day of the month? Because they know that it's payday. And so they know you've got money.
It's like Martin Lewis sends this at 9 p.m, which always really messes with my head. I'm like, why is it 9 p.m? It must be because it's the last email before you check it.
Exactly.
Go to bed, the deals, then your guards down higher, right?
Come on. So they know everything is planned. So someone's planned to take your money from you. Mm-hmm. Someone's planning every single day. You watch TV, you watch YouTube, you go outside on a bus. Mm-hmm. There's adverts. Or wherever you go, somebody's advertising at you, trying to take your money from you. But you have no system to keep your money. Guess what? You're losing the game. The biggest thing I tell my clients is before we talk about invest, we need a system. Mm-hmm. You need a system to protect your money. I always say it's like when you start a job, you have an induction. They'll tell you, this is your desk, this is the kitchen, this is the fire exit in emergency, this is where you go. You have an induction. Why have you never given your money an induction?
Download Gains app. It will solve
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like visibility. Like have a process. So that when your money comes in, you say, oh, this portion of my money, you're going to pay my bills. This one, you're going to save. You're going to invest. Oh, you're my spending money. Like, have a plan for it. If not, it will flow in and it will flow out.
Yeah, so there's a study done on that where it's like you save 78% more over a lifetime if the money is split into pots.
Yes.
78%. That's a lot. And if you leave it all in one, then you're way more likely just to tap into it. So systemization or automation, and it will just run like clockwork. This is the thing. People think this stuff takes ages to set up. It doesn't. You can be done in half an hour.
Yeah.
And you've set up the right banks. You've set up all the cross promotions to each one. What am I sending? X, Y, and Z. And then it's done. And then it's about mini check-ins here and there. Like, am I on track? Did I go a bit nuts last weekend? Like, oh, okay, I messed up. Like, now I've got to move some things around. Like, that's what you should be doing. Because it's much more easier to do that rather than sitting down and going, I've got to do a whole budget. Like every single month, it's going to take me an hour. Like no one wants to do it. No one does it. No. So it's just like set a system up that you know is going to run.
Exactly.
And mini check-ins here and there.
Yeah, and I said that, especially with the AI now. Put your last 3 months bank statements into AI. Tell it to create a spreadsheet and tell it to create a document explaining what you do good, what you do bad, what you can improve on. And then analyze it. Do it another 3 months. Oh yeah, you've improved from the previous. You spent less on this. You spent less on that. You've done better on. You don't need to go and start filling out the spreadsheet yourself. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You can. The computer can do that for you. So that's great. But do something.
Yeah.
Like so much people moan and complain and I can't do this and the system's against me and this. You are against yourself. Like I got so many people Christians that we say, oh, the devil. The devil don't even know you. Like, you are your own devil. Like, you are the one putting yourself in this situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, the poor guy is minding his own business and you're just blaming him for stuff that he ain't even doing nothing to you. You are the one making these decisions. You are the one not being responsible with your money. I see people, I want to buy a house, but I just don't have enough money. We did a show with Channel 4 and this person's like, I can't have enough money. We went to their wardrobe. By the time we added up their clothes, their shoes, their bags, they had over £80,000.
Yeah, I can see that. To be fair, I could see that. That's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah. It hurts. I like that. You reminded me of that video, and he's like, oh, this is all money.
Yes.
And he's just like looking at his wardrobe and he's like, I barely wear that. I wear that t-shirt all the time. And it's just ridiculous.
Because of them, by the time we add bag shoes, then we added Uber Eats for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Then we added what they spent. Like, you've got the money's coming in.
Mate, do you know how much money this t-shirt saved me?
Come on.
Just because it's like a Gains t-shirt, which I've got 3 of, and I just rotate them. I don't buy any more clothes because I don't need to, because I just wear this.
Yeah, but there's nothing to prove. But also you got to a point where you've created a brand that you're proud of, that means something outside, so you don't need to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah, but before that, it was Uniqlo, plain tees, on rotation.
Even then, exactly, you didn't have nothing to prove. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's so important. Like, there's nothing for me. I'll buy a t-shirt in Primark. I'll buy a t-shirt in like whatever. Like, it's not about brands as such. For me, it's just about being comfortable and making sure that I present myself well. I don't need a certain brand to do that.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love this.
Well,
We've flown through. I know I'd enjoy chatting to you. I think I could probably do a little 3-hour special and we'd still be here ratting away.
100.
Man, it was great. But where you want to send people today?
Yeah, so the Eman Effect is the social media. So that's on Instagram, TikTok, and then Emmanuel Asuquo on LinkedIn. So yeah, we got the website, emmanuelasuquo.com is the website as well.
I'll drop all that in the show notes.
Obviously, if anyone needs a financial advisor, anyone's looking to invest, anyone's looking to grow their money, anyone's got pensions that they need to put together and amalgamate and then get invested properly for the future, just hit us a line. I'm here to help.
Yeah, thanks, man. You've absolutely smashed it.
No, thanks for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.